Hello everybody, my name is Dr. Bill Crawford. I'm a psychologist, speaker, author of 4 books, host of 2 PBS specials. Here today to give you another tip on how to help you create the life you want, how to bring more clarity, confidence, and creativity into everything you do. This is the second video in a series of 5 that I'm doing that outline a model I've created that really is designed to help people bring their clarity, confidence, and creativity to life. And it has to start with clarity. So last week, or in the last video, I talked about the #1 regret of the dying. And that is, I wish I'd have lived a life that was true to who I am versus the life that others expected of me. And in order to pull that off, I talked about the power of purpose. #1, doing things purposefully, deliberately, versus just kind of habitually falling into things, decisions. Second, having a purpose, having a goal in mind that we want to accomplish. And third, doing it in a way that is congruent with our highest purpose, which I think ought to be the qualities and characteristics we bring to life, defining ourselves as we do these purposeful things, pursuing this goal. Feel free to watch that video if you want more information about that. This second video looks at what I call the true cause of how we think, feel, behave, act, respond to life. And that is 2 things. #1, our past. And #2, what I call our piece of the pie. Our past, basically, obviously, is all the things that happened in our past. And we have been very influenced by that. We learned a lot of things from being little babies to who we are now, and those learnings are informing and influencing how we think, feel, and respond. Some of those are wonderful. Some of those we want to hang on to. Some of them we want to change. But if we can look at those reactions not as just thoughts or habits, but actually physiological neural pathways in our brain, then we can begin to say, okay, do I want to continue to go down that pathway, or do I want to forge a new pathway? One of the things I talk about in my Life from the Top of the Mind philosophy is how this middle part of the brain, this limbic system, actually works as a scanner and a processor and a router. It scans incoming data, routes it either down to the brainstem or up to the neocortex. So I like to create as many neural pathways as possible from the limbic system up to the neocortex. Part of that has to do with looking at my past and seeing which one of those old thoughts, beliefs, patterns I want to hang on to, which ones I want to change. Our piece of the pie has to do with our perceptions, interpretations, and expectations, PIE. Because those actually create our emotions, our behavior, and our experience of life, which I think is the good news. Because if we want to have more influence over our emotions, our behaviors, our experience of life, then the more we can influence our perceptions, interpretations, and expectations, the more influence we can have. Especially if we look at those situations or types of situations or people or events or whatever that in the past have triggered our stress, frustration, anxiety, resentment, anger, whatever, that got in the way of our clarity, confidence, and creativity, we can say, okay, what's my old perception of that? How am I interpreting traffic or difficult people or deadlines or other things in my life? What are my expectations about those situations that are triggering this reaction? And if I begin to choose new perceptions on traffic, maybe traffic is just a bunch of people going the same way I am. How do I want to experience that? How do I want to feel in traffic? What would I teach to someone I love? I love that question. So we begin to look at those old triggers and also the things that we encounter on a regular basis and recognize that if we choose our perceptions, interpretations, and expectations around certain types of people, certain types of situations, we can influence how we feel about it, our behavior, and our experience of that situation. So I'm hoping you're going to be able to, in this kind of a process, look at those old perceptions, beliefs, interpretations, expectations, look at the habits from the past and decide again which ones you want to hang on to, which ones you want to change. Look at changing the perceptions, interpretations, and expectations of those situations and watch your experience change. Next week, I'm going to give you another model, and I'm going to put it all together in a 5-step model that hopefully will help you kind of become more influential in your life. So, in the meantime, here's to you bringing more clarity, confidence, creativity to everything you do, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.